Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live session. So, guys, let's dive deep into what we have for tonight. So, looking at my screen, you can see the image in black there. It has to do with the Minister for Humanitarian Affairs. This is one of the APC. I think she was a woman leader during the campaign. I don't know if she has left that position. But for me, I was so surprised, because I think this is coming too early for us to start having this kind of headlines. And honestly, although this is still an allegation, she's yet to come as in clear her name. And I just pray that let it be that this didn't happen, because I believe that this is one of the bright Nigerians, this is one of the bright Nigerians we should be a kind of looking forward to convincing to join the fight for a better Nigeria. I don't think this lady is even supposed to be with the APC, if I'm to say. And for us to get to this point where she's being mentioned, on issues that has to do with corruption, I think is really a worrisome situation. So the headline says poverty alleviation. Tinubu's humanitarian minister, Betta Edu, directs accountant general possibly to move 585 million naira to a private account. That is what this news is saying. And trust me, not quite long she went to church to testify on how she was given this ministerial position. And when you look at the person that tweeted this tweet, he referred to that. He said, he never tell where this one go church, go give testimony, say, God, I can't really see, God answer prayer. Now the answer be this, that God answered her prayers, that if this is the prayer that God answered. So this is really coming, for me, is quite shocking, because I was just hoping that sometimes when I look at her, I feel, oh, this is one of the people that Nigerians, I mean, the younger obedience should be looking forward to convincing her in joining the fight for a better Nigeria. So for us to be getting this headline that has to do with corruption, I don't think it's a very good news for her, and also for the president, and for the APC, and for Nigeria, because this government is just about 8 months old. And we don't want to be seeing headlines like this. And trust Nigerians, there've been a lot of reactions. This one is in breaking news. Tinubu's humanitarian minister, Betta Edu, diverts 585 million embarked to reduce poverty of vulnerable citizens in Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Lagos, Ogun State, to be paid into the UBA account. This is the UBA account. So meaning that he's trying to say that she asked them to pay this money to someone else's account. So you can see, trust Nigerians, since this headline came out, people have been reacting. This is the woman, official bat, entrusted with palliative funds. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Betta Edu, instructed Accountant General of the Federation, Toyin Sakirat Madean, to transfer 585 million naira to private account designated for vulnerable Nigerians in 4 states into possibly private account. So guys, this is it. When we are saying that we've had enough of this corruption, I think it's time for us to start talking about how to free Nigeria from this bondage, only for us to be seeing this kind of headlines. I mean, this is not what we need at the moment at all. Nigeria is not expecting this kind of headline. And this other person says, Betta Edu instructed the Accountant General of the Federation, Toyin Sakirat Madean, to transfer 585 million meant for vulnerable Nigerians in 4 states into a private account, like Sadiya Omar Farouk, like Betta. They are now referring her to the former Minister for Humanitarian Affairs. We all know the former minister. She has been invited by the EFCC. She didn't honor that invitation, and she came out to say she's sick. Possibly the tension alone is already causing a different havoc. So this is also coming from this same administration. I mean, during the time of Buhari, Nigerians were like, we've never seen a corrupt government like that of Buhari. We don't even know what is going to become of this current administration because they've just started. I mean, by this time, Buhari was still giving Nigerians that signal that we are here to fight corruption. You know, when Buhari assumed office, he was just going after like PDP members, those he felt that, you know, took Nigerian people's money, that they were going to recover. They are going to make sure the monies are recovered. Even after recovering all those funds, till today, they didn't account to Nigerians what they used those funds for. Nigerians. And at the end of the day, the Buhari that was showcasing muscles in the name of fighting corruption ended up giving Nigerians a government that Nigerians tend to be the worst ever they've ever experienced. So this government now has come in. We've not even seen any move to like fight corruption. We've not really seen, only for all this corruption allegation. Look at the headline here, how Tinubu government mobilize public funds to buy votes in Imo, Kogi, Bayelsa, governorship polls under grant for vulnerable groups program. So there is no good news yet coming from this government. And before we go into the next topic we want to look into, let's just take this video just to align it with what we are saying here.
People are the way they are today because those in government, those are their leaders, have set a bad example on how not to be good citizens. Nigeria is one country where honesty does not pay, where integrity does not take you far, where the more you are hawkish, the more you are adept at state capture, the more political mileage you get. Such is the kind of system we operate today, where people are rewarded, where corrupt people are rewarded with some of the highest offices in the land. So that is the kind of system we operate. So why should anybody now sit and die in penury trying to be a good citizen? Any country, go and study the history of most developed countries today. It was leadership by example. Singapore had Lee Kuan Yew. Saudi Arabia had Ibn Saud. The United States of America, beginning with George Washington, had a succession of leaders that kept praising the bar of leadership up until this point in time. And so it is the story across the world. Leadership must take the lead to be able to reward good behavior and punish and sanction bad behavior. But when you reward bad behavior as a system and you actually punish or ostracize good behavior, people will simply adapt to what will make them survive the situation. That is what you have in Nigeria. So it still boils down to leadership. It's a leadership problem, essentially, because God has placed leadership in such a vantage position that it can influence good and it can discourage bad. But when leadership now influences bad behavior and rewards it, so how are you going to now explain people that have chosen to remain good and die in penury? That's the situation in Nigeria, and it is sad. But what I'm saying is no longer sustainable. Nigeria is inching towards a failed state that might eventually collapse because of this current system. And there comes a time in the life of every nation when leaders sit down and say, okay, we've had enough. We've had our fill from the common till.
But
can we now begin to do the right things?
I'm sorry, I must interrupt you. This is a critical question. The political class, are they willing to do what you've just described?
Well,
because
like
it sounds like you're asking them to commit class suicide.
It is their interest. It is in the interest of their own self-preservation to do that now, because Nigeria can no longer sustain their profligacy. Otherwise, if they continue on this path, they will become victims of the seeds of destruction they are sowing through bad leadership. We're getting to that point. So, as analysts, we're like ancient prophets that are warning kings to say, look, doom and destruction is coming because of your iniquity. So, the iniquity of our leaders today is going to bring destruction upon us that will consume them first, probably. I don't know why they are not saying it, because they're actually behaving like drunken sailors aboard a sinking ship. So, they do not understand that the ship is sinking. The ship is sinking. And the question is this: for how long will those on board watch their drunken sailors allow their ships to sink without taking
control of the ship themselves?
Exactly.
So, guys, that is it. Nigerians, we are the ones to take control of what is happening. We don't have to allow this nation to sink, honestly. You know, right from the origin, Nigeria has always had this leadership problem. Although Nigerians are getting to understand that, that was why we saw what we saw during the last election. I mean, people needed that change to happen. Nigerians were tired of the system, they were hungry. And that was why what happened during the 2023 election happened. We saw a shift from the status quo. We saw something different that we've never seen. So you can imagine, how do you even expect this government to fight corruption? As it stands now, Nigeria is broke. You know, Nigeria is broke. They tell us they've removed subsidy and we don't even know where the money is being channeled to. They tell us that we don't even have money in the banks. And the CBN man came out to say, oh, people are hoarding the naira. People are the ones hoarding the naira. That's why you go to banks, you won't be able to get money to attend to your needs. I mean, so many things are happening in this nation today. And one keeps wondering, when are we going to have that shift happen? When are we going to get people who really mean well for Nigerians? Because even the way it stands now, some people are wondering if this government will summon the kind of courage that is needed in fighting corruption. Because, you know, like the people, there is an adage that say when you are pointing one finger to one person, the other fingers are pointing at you. So that alone is another big challenge, because we need people who do not have anything that has to do with corruption to be in this sensitive position so that they will be able to fight corruption to a standstill. I don't know what you think about headlines like this. You can drop your thoughts in the comment section. But for me, I think this is no good news for Nigerians. And we don't really expect this kind of news to be coming up at such a time when Nigerians are really hungry. So, guys, there have been this, outburst on this Twitter space about this post that was posted by Dr. Abati. He said pressure on Peter Obi to run as vice to Atiku in 2027. Nigerians are like, obedience are like, what? What are you saying? What are you saying? That he's no match for Peter Obi, and there is no way. They are not even saying he should run as a vice to Peter Obi. Is that Peter Obi should be the one to run as vice for Atiku? Can you imagine? Or to Atiku? Can you imagine, Nigerians? We were thinking that Atiku said that was his last attempt. I mean, 2023 presidential election was his last attempt. And if he succeeds, he was going to hold that position for just one term, as in one tenure. And all of a sudden, there's been this wave of him coming back again to run in 2027. One keeps asking, is it only in the north that we have credible leaders or people who can really lead the nation? Why is it that these people will not want to understand that, please, Buhari had 8 years? Just allow the South. At least let this fight be within the Southerners and not something to be, shared between the Northerners and the Southerners. No. And trust obedience. I think I'm just going to see if I can take you guys to some of those comments so that you guys will see it for yourself, because, Nigerians, they are patient enough. I mean, people feel it's overdue, for us to get rid of these politicians, as in the time is up, the time is over. We just have to do what we're supposed to do, because we can't continue the way we are going today. Let me see if I can share that link with you all. I mean, I don't know what you yourself you think. Do you think this kind of call worth it? And some people have equally argued, why should we even be talking about 2027 at this time, when people are being sent to early grave? So many things, the economy is so battered, so many things have gone wrong in this country, so many things are not working. People are like, is this the right time for us to be talking about 2027 when we've not even come out of what the mess we are into? And people are saying Atiku should even run in 2027. Can you imagine? So let me just take you guys. I don't know. Hopefully you can be seeing my screen. This is the post on Twitter. And let's just take a look at some of the reactions. I could not really take them to add on my video. Okay, this person said, "Lo, Dr. Abati is faithfully serving his beloved party's interest. There is no pressure on Peter Obi to run as vice president along Atiku in 2027. Our desire is for Oga Atiku to take on the role of an elder statesman and support Mr. Obi and Mr. Dati. I think this comment just covers everything that one should be saying at this moment. Mr. Atiku Abubakar should relax. He should just go and retire because it's like he really has excess money. You can imagine what it takes to run for this position in this country, because you need to give people money, even during the primaries. What led to Peter Obi leaving the PDP? Was it not how money was changing hands, not even in our currency? That was happening in dollars. That was one of the reasons why Peter Obi left. Peter Obi could not withstand it. And he left. So this other person, God's will alone for Niger, says, that pressure is dead on arrival. Obedati will get back our mandate by God's grace, and they will stick together like bread and butter. You will see this love. That's what they are coming soon to spread across Nigeria. We can't wait to see leaders that will unite Nigerians. You can imagine how divided Nigerians are today. Honestly, we are divided. This one says, on what ground now? I wonder how people could see beyond it. Talking about 2027, it's 365 days a joke. What business has 2027 got to do with recent hardship and killings all over? So no wonder they concluded Nigerians are flexible. Give them time, they will forget. Sorry. So the next person is saying, at least it shows BAT is a failure for political parties to be raising propaganda for 2027 just now. Honestly, I think that's also a very good signal that this current administration has failed. They have not even, they are not up to 1 year. People are already thinking of, in short, Nigerians can't wait to have 2027. Although it's too early, but something is triggering all this. Something is, as in raising this dust. That's what I'll just say, So she's saying that, which is more than 3 years ahead. What a failure. This man who built Lagos lost it in 7 months. Anyways, Atiku should day his day. Let Obi stay his day. Just like the River State song, week a day your day. So Atiku should stay on his lane. Peter Obi, he should just leave Peter Obi, JJ. So this one say Abati and propaganda na 5 and 6. Obi is bigger than the entire PDP right now. Abati, please come. Let's teach you new methods of cooking. Your method is outdated, man. Anyway, so guys, there are a lot of reactions. Like you can see, a lot of them that I will not be able to take, But I just wanted to share it with you guys to see that Nigerians are not even they are not comfortable with all this. We just want a new Nigeria. And we are tired of the current political class. We are tired of them. As in, we just want these people to just let them be retired. Nigerians, are you not tired of what you are seeing? Upon all that the APC boasted during the election, because we didn't see the president engage Nigerians through debates or attending town hall meetings or even meeting students, but we saw Peter Obi taking the lead in those directions. So we didn't even know what they were coming to do. But we saw their spokesperson boasting as if they've got heaven and earth to offer Nigerians. And up to today, we've not seen any action on ground. As in, Nigerians are yet to know if we've got a new government or not. From the look of things, nothing is happening. And exactly that is why people are now thinking about 2027 that is not supposed to have even crossed the minds of Nigerians. Should this government have known what they are supposed to be doing and they are doing it, Nigerians will just be looking for suggestion on how to, support the government, how to give them tips, clues, ideas on what to do. But as it stands now, we don't even have a direction. And that is why people are already talking about 2027. You can imagine how far it is, but Nigerians are already saying, oh, we want Atiku and Peter Obi to run. We know that they understand that Peter Obi has a very strong base. Yesterday, I also scrolled across a post that was saying Peter Obi should run with Saraki. They were even placing Peter Obi in the position of a vice president, while Saraki should be the president. So you can imagine, people don't even know that we are not even after any other thing, if not people that have credible. There's no way you can match Atiku and Peter Obi when it comes to character. People that don't have anything to do with corruption. You can't also match Peter Obi with Saraki. So let's just leave this topic because I don't even think it worth discussing. But I felt, let me just share it with you guys that some people are already nursing that idea that Peter Obi should run with Atiku or with Saraki in the PDP, not even in the Labour Party. That sounds funny. I don't know what your thoughts are. You can drop it in the comment section and let's move forward. So this is the former humanitarian minister. People are saying that, okay, let me read this post. 37 billion naira fraud. Anti-Graft Commission, EFCC, receives petition to declare this minister wanted. This is going out of hand. She was invited, but she refused to honor that invitation. She later gave her reasons that it's on health basis, possibly that she's not feeling fine or something like that. But you can see that from this headline now, he's saying that the EFCC had received petition to declare her wanted, and that could lead to them going to arrest her at all costs also. That's my own thinking. I don't know if that is true, but that is what I think. So I just hope that is why when people are given opportunity, women, sometimes people like Peter Obi has boasted on how he worked with women and they so much helped him, as in that the women that he worked with, they were so amazing. Some of them will even challenge him on some of the decisions he was taking. I don't know why it is it that, okay, this is happening in the APC because she's an APC member and the current humanitarian minister is the one we talked about from the beginning. She's also from the APC. I just hope that they will come out to clear the air so that, we won't be referring to women again as the problem of this nation, because as it stands now, we are holding the men responsible, people like Buhari and the current government, they are the people we are pointing fingers to. So this is, I don't know how true this is, but you can see it's coming from Linda Ikeji blog official that police arrested the people who are operating this Gist Lover blog. So if this is real, I don't know on what ground, on what basis they were arrested, but I just hope that it's not on the basis of them, not being able to air their view or, have that freedom of expressing themselves. I don't really know what led to that arrest. There will be grave consequences, Anarchy, if Tinubu's government raises fuel price to 1.2. As at yesterday, we heard that fuel price was 1,200 naira. So I don't even know why this group is saying there will be, while we heard that it was already on ground as at yesterday. So Tinubu urged to address judicial corruption. How is that going to be possible? For me, I'm just doubting if that is possible to address judicial corruption. And that retired judge who came out to expose what has been happening in the judiciary, gunmen attacked his house. I don't know. I don't think anybody lost his life, but possibly, you know what that means, for them to have attacked or gone into his house. I don't know if it was because of the revelation that he made or something else. I can't really say, but that is Nigeria for you. If you had listened to the video I played before now, the man was saying that Nigeria is a place where, honesty does not pay. When you are honest, you are in for trouble. When you speak the truth, they will come for you. They will come after you. They want to say, why did you say the truth? That is it. So that man came out to reveal what has been happening. And today, gunmen has gone after him. So that is the consequence of being a patriotic Nigerian. If you are to help this country to come out of this mess, they say if you fight corruption, corruption will fight back. And that is what we are seeing today. 17 residents killed, scores abducted as gunmen attack communities in Kaduna State. We know where else, if not in southern Kaduna. And we don't even see what our security agents are doing. Look at the bad guys, see? And look at the effect of what they are doing beneath. see where people are displaying guns, see, and nobody is going after them. And look at the mass burial. I don't know if our security agents, if they even get to see this photos like this. I'm going to be playing a video for you guys. I don't know if YouTube will allow that, because it has to do with where these guys were showcasing the ammunition. You need to see it, Nigerians. And they were doing a naming ceremony. If you've been on YouTube, you'll see that video. It has gone everywhere. It's viral. They were like having a naming ceremony. Possibly one of them had a baby. And come and see how they were displaying what they had. I mean, these people. And somebody was saying tomorrow now they will tell us they don't know where they are. In an open air, they were as in this. When I say display, they were not hiding anything, and most of them were wearing military and police uniform. Nigerians, how do we move away from where we are today? How do we move away from where we are today? This happened in Yobe State. I mean, since after what happened in Plateau State, it's like these men were let loose across northern Nigeria. People are not having peace, as in nothing is happening. This coming from Plateau State, the citizens have gone against their chief, because it appears the security agents were arresting the indigenes instead of going after those that invaded them. So out of anger, they they released their anger on their chief and got his house burnt. So this tweet here said, angry women set ablaze office of the district head of Bokus. That is it in this community over arrest of some youths yesterday by soldiers. So you can imagine when these people commit, is the person who is a victim, who is the victim, suffers. So you can imagine these people are saying, okay, that they've dealt enough with us. Why then go to start arresting them? So before we move forward on what we have further, I want you to just take a look at what this lady got to say.
And the security situations or insecurity situations plaguing the nation, you will then wonder what is happening in terms of our security architecture. Do we have a viable security architecture? And that's why it's not surprising that the former Senate President, Senator David Mark, has suggested that perhaps the Tinubu administration should look at a review of its security strategy, because what is currently on ground clearly isn't working. It hasn't worked for a while and it's still not working. I want to assume that following what happened on Christmas Eve in Plateau State, and of course in other parts of the north central states and the north, other parts of the north, including states like Zamfara, where kidnapping, the students were spent Christmas in kidnappers' den. We have Taraba State, we have Plateau State, even Benue State is still not settled. There's news coming in from Borno State as well. And so in the north, there just seems to be a total breakdown of security architecture. Yet we have special operations like Operation Safe Haven. We have a lot of money allocated to defense and military in the budget year after year. We talk about purchasing of sophisticated weapons, helicopters, different things to ensure we beef up the security apparatus of the nation. Unfortunately, this hasn't translated into an improvement in the security situation in the country. Now, in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 8-point agenda, security features prominently. In fact, it is often the first item he speaks about, and for very good reason as well. Yesterday, we had Boston Mofaye with us, and he made some very important, salient points. I'd encourage you to watch that interview again if you didn't see it. One of the things he talked about, and I must agree with him, is that we cannot even talk about the economy or having a stable economy in Nigeria if we don't tackle the big issue of insecurity. We cannot talk about attracting investors to help the economy of Nigeria if we don't tackle insecurity. There are many aspects of the nation or the growth of the nation that is hedged on tackling insecurity in the nation, and that's why we must center on it. We must talk about it, and this administration must quickly find a solution to this. The reason why people would say, okay, well, they've only been there for 7 months. This administration has only been in for 7 months. But you must must remember that before the 7 months, the president and his team must have had a plan and perhaps a formula or a way to a strategy to tackle insecurity, because this problem was there even before the last administration. And so administration after administration seems like it is an overwhelming task. It is almost an impossible task to handle. And so this is a big question for this administration. Is this an admittance of failure of not being able to manage insecurity, not just in the North Central states, but also in the Northeast and in the South, where we have militancy, in the Southwest, where there are issues around kidnapping, in the Southeast, where there's still sit-at-home order on Mondays. In many states in the Southeast, there's still the sit-at-home order on Monday. So we're not able to tackle this issue. So beyond the issue in Plateau State, which is, as we've talked about, it is not worth thinking about. But beyond that is also the entire security architecture of the nation. And that's why I totally agree with Senator David Mark that perhaps it's time to declare a state of emergency on insecurity in Nigeria. There are a number of think tanks, a number of organizations, personalities, politicians, statesmen who have given or preferred solution as to how to tackle insecurity. So the big issue is, what then is the problem with implementation? We had General Ariola last week here, and he talked about the fact that he was commanding officer of Operation Safe Haven, and he had released a detailed report as to how to tackle the issue of herdsmen-farmer clashes in Plateau State. Why hasn't that been implemented?
So guys, if you can remember, there was this Navy man who boldly came on Channels Television to tell the entire world that the government is aware of who is funding this insecurity. If you can remember, I will try to look for that video and play it here on one of my live sessions. So is it that we lack the political will? Is it that we lack that political will? That's just the question. Because some people are like, oh, possibly the current administration wouldn't want to go against these bandits, for maybe the Northerners who want to misunderstand it or misinterpret it. Don't forget that before Buhari became the president, he once said, attack on Boko Haram is attack on the North. That was the statement. You can just Google it if you have your phone or any of your gadgets. You can Google it. That's what the person that still eventually emerged as the president of Nigeria told. He made that statement during during a media session. You can imagine if such a person eventually became the president of Nigeria. What else again are we talking about? We saw a minister under Buhari, the minister for, I think, communication, who sympathized with these bad guys in the bush. And when people called for his sack, Buhari protected him. Some people from the north, they protected him. He stayed that 8 years before he left. And now this government has come in. They saw what we went through during the time of Buhari. Instead of them to... Peter Obi told us that when he comes into office, the first thing is security, because you can't do anything without security. If there is this insecurity on ground, nobody will want to come to Nigeria. You are looking for investors. You know how much has been mapped out for this government, for the president and the vice president to embark on travels, on trips in 2024 to go look for investors. And look at, our house is on fire and we are pursuing rats. You can imagine. How are we going to come out from this? Don't forget, something happened again in Nasarawa State. She has mentioned other states. She didn't mention Nasarawa. This is a fresh attack. Let me just play a video of a guy, the video of a guy who was present, an eyewitness, just for you to listen to what he has got to say.
Promise, Chinyere, Enyinea.
Can you tell us the experience of what actually took place yesterday in Wisdom School?
Honestly, it was very bad experience. I've never seen such in my life before. I always watch it in movie, but this is life. I saw it myself, not somebody told me. We were in the shop yesterday. It was 7:45 to 8. When we had a gunshot, outside the supermarket. So I was in the counter giving somebody change. So we have about 3 customers inside the shop. One of my staff was attending to the other one person, and one of the other one, he was tending to another person, and when I was trying to give the other third person change, when we had a gunshot at our side. So those 3 men, those 3 customers, they are trying to go outside. Within me, I was thinking that it's a tire, motor tire that burst, but I never knew that it's gunshot. So those 3 men, when they went out to go and they just want to go out to see that sound, those people now came in and opened fire, and the gun where they are holding is AK-47. That's how they gun 3 of them down. I don't know where to go. I don't really know where to run to, because if I make any move, I will be dead. What I do, I move away from the cash point. I move a little way and went a light flight. Then the other of my 2 staff, they do the same. They ran and lie flat. That's how they come into the place. After they have shot those 3 people dead, with 1 person outside, that's the first person. They shot him on the head and collected his phone. So that's how we lie down. They come into the cash points. They took all away cash, or they took everything away. And I was lying very close to the cash, but I was not close to the cash. I just moved a little way. So after taking the whole cash, that's how they go away. They couldn't maybe shoot at me because I was lying down on the floor. My 2 staff was lying on the floor. Our mind was thinking maybe they will shot all of us, but God so big, God so kind. In fact, I believe that is the will of God. Our time have not yet reached for us to go. So I really bless the name of God who kept us alive, because what my eyes saw yesterday.
So guys, what a pathetic situation in Nigeria. People are not sure of their lives, as in you leave your house in the morning, you are not sure if you are coming back home. And it appears we don't even have a government. At the height of all this, Nigerians will be expecting the president to come out and speak, address the nation, speak to your we should be seeing them having meetings, with these security chiefs, with these security groups. We should be seeing different discussions, going on with the president. But nobody, we are even not sure if it's in the country, because it appears nobody is talking to Nigerians. This was what we suffered at the hand of Buhari. For all the periods Buhari was there, he hardly addresses the media. He hardly comes out to address Nigerians. He hardly speaks to us. They will tell us he's an introvert, that he doesn't talk that much. And we bared it for 8 years. Now look at where we are again. So you could see how God saved the life of this guy. The 3 people that came into his shop to patronize him, when they heard that gunshot, they went out to know exactly what was happening, which was also a right move, because they wanted to, if it's something that they have to run, let them start running, only for them, the 3 of them, to be gunned down. So if this man had equally joined them to have gone out to see what was actually happening, possibly he won't be standing here talking. So that is the level of insecurity in Nigeria. And we don't know when things are going to get better in this nation. So this is the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo. He met with Ohanese leaders. And there is this soldier, in that has come out, and he's perching on Sanwo-Olu, that, Sanwo-Olu had arrested a military guy, a man who said he's a military, he's an army. He was taking the wrong lane, so he was arrested. So this guy was he came out to bombard the governor of Lagos State that he knows how to arrest people, but when he needs his dirty job, he will ask them to do it for him. So you could see this person that tweeted said, and if you want you to do your dirty work, you call soldiers. What does he mean by that? Okay, if he wants, anytime he wants someone to do his dirty work, he calls soldiers. So there is a video to that. You can see it. Sanwo-Olu uses soldiers for dirty jobs, but disgraces them in public. In public, that's what this officer is saying. There is a video to that, but I may not really bring that to you. So this is coming from someone who is not even a Nigerian. He's saying more than 41 Christians were massacred in the last 24 hours by Islamist Fulani militias in Kaduna State. Kaduna has really suffered in this country, honestly. I mean, southern Kaduna. Anyway, that brings us to the kind of leadership we have on ground. See, Nigerians, take a critical look at this image and you see what is written there. The National Broadcasting Commission has directed broadcast stations in Nigeria to stop reporting the details of attack by bandits and insurgents. That is it. The date for this post was not written, but you can see it stated there an hour ago. So I saw it on Twitter and I was like, God, see, this person said, evil government. They don't want people to talk about what is happening so that Nigerians will keep dying in secret. That is what is happening today. And like the man that just spoke in the first video, he said leadership is the biggest challenge we have. Leadership. Nigeria is an environment where we reward bad people, but people that try to do good are being ridiculed. You know, they are taken for granted. You might even be incarcerated for doing the right thing. That is the nation we found ourselves. We don't have legislature. What we have, okay, we have rubber stamp lawmakers watching Nigeria drift aimlessly. That is it. The lawmakers are supposed to like be shouting over what is happening in Nigeria. This attack has been happening in Plateau, in Borno State, in Zamfara, in Yobe, in Niger State, and like the one you just saw now happened in Nasarawa. I mean, majority of the northern states are under attack. Majority. We all know that Sokoto is prone to these attacks and Katsina is prone to these attacks. So many of the states are just, these ones are the ones recorded. We are not talking about the ones that were not captured. Many of them, you know, these remote areas and how the vast land in the north, it also equally makes it difficult to like capture some of the happenings, especially in the villages, you know. So these are just what we can see, what the media can give us. And most times these figures are not the exact figures Nigerians are supposed to be having. But you can see that despite all this, the National Assembly, I don't know if they are still on holiday, enjoying their Christmas. The president has not come out to speak. Possibly he's still enjoying his Christmas and all that. So leadership remains the biggest challenge. We can't wait to have a shift from where we are today. Honestly, we need that change to happen. So guys, we are going to be ending it at this point. You can see that this nation needs your prayers and mine too. We have to be praying for this country. And we also have to be praying for a new Nigeria. See, these are leaders. They've run out of ideas. In case you don't know, they don't even know what to do again. As in, people are confused. People don't know what to do again. You know, when this president came in, he went and brought in those he worked with in Lagos State years back, forgetting that we are in a new era. Some of these people, they are amazing people. They are great people. They are well-read, but they don't even know what is this 21st century, what it has got to offer. So you can imagine these insecurity issues if people have been thinking technology, if people have been thinking, you know, as in trying to align themselves with what is on ground today. How are other countries fighting insecurity? The mindset alone. Look at what is happening in Israel. The other day, I referred to Israel and someone commented and was saying, oh, the situation in Nigeria is different from that of Israel. I was just referring to the mindset. Look at the Yatuhan, the prime minister of Israel. This man is determined, despite the fact that world leaders have come. Almost everybody is deserting them because they feel that the bombardment is affecting civilians, that he should stop. But he's like, if I've not destroyed Hamas, I'm not going to let go. I'm not going to stop. That's the kind of mindset. So you can imagine if our leaders should have this kind of mindset that if I've not stopped terrorism and banditry in Nigeria, if that is the only achievement I achieve as a government, I'm good to go. Because the prime minister of Israel, and even his, how do they call it, his vote of confidence or whatever, his popularity is dropping. So people are like, oh, stop that attack, stop. But he's like, he's not, as in he's not paying attention to what they are saying. He wants to ensure Hamas is totally destroyed. And you know, the latest plan, they want to move the civilians in Gaza to some of the African countries so that they will give them chance to like get to the bottom roots, I mean, to the roots of where Hamas stronghold is. So what I'm talking about is the mindset. It's not as if we have to fight the way Israel is fighting. No, but you have to have that mindset that Nigeria must be free from terrorism, from all these bandits and all these people causing all sort of, instability in Nigeria. That Nigeria, once you have that mindset, you go after the people. Don't listen to what people are saying, because some people bring in tribal and religious sentiment. No, but do what is right in the eyes of Nigerians, and everybody will appreciate it. But this government does not even have ideas on what to do. So, guys, we look forward to a new Nigeria. If you are out there and you've not seen the need to vote for people with credible characters, I think this is time for us to start changing our mentality. They've already started talking about 2027. You have to start repositioning your mind that you can never vote all these old politicians who have run out of idea. They don't even know what to do in order to save Nigeria at the moment. So, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to more people. So I really appreciate your time with me tonight. And if you don't mind, you can also buy us a cup of coffee. The sticker is down beneath the comment section. The super chat, the super thanks are there. You can use that to support the channel. Thank you very much for your time. Let's see you again tomorrow. Good night.